Hey everyone, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Although I am a licensed clinician, I'm also just a person. I love to be able to be in my real life and speak from that point. And that's where this podcast is coming from. So enjoy.
Searching for truth, looking for answers. There must be a way to another day.
Hey guys, it's Aaliyah here.
And Joe.
What's up? A convenient truth.
Yeah.
Convenient truth. We're back. Sunday.
Yeah, the day after our 1 year anniversary.
The day after our 1 year wedding anniversary. Today is actually also the man, the myth, the Milton's
Have you called him?
birthday. I have called him. My father's 71st birthday. Ba, 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 ba. So we had it's yesterday and then today. Lots of things going on.
Yeah. Maybe I got to call him up or something today.
Yeah, you don't want to be that shitty brother and son-in-law that doesn't
He knows I'm going to call him.
So we celebrated. So we've been married for 1 year. Yesterday was 1 year, you guys. It's really crazy, and it flew by really fast. Really fast.
Yeah.
I feel like Soul
We did a
was
lot
just,
of shit,
just-
too.
We did a lot of shit. We woke up, drove to Mystic, Connecticut, which if you've never been to
Oh,
Mystic...
no, I was talking about just in it the past year. Well, we did do a lot of shit yesterday. All right, let's talk about that, though.
Yeah, so we drove to Mystic, Connecticut, and then
You like that place, right?
I've never been there, and I love Mystic. If you guys have not been there and you are anywhere in the vicinity where you can drive there, take the train, go to Mystic, Connecticut. It's a cute, quaint little town with lots of shops and restaurants and just
Really good food, actually.
Oh my God, it's so cute. However,
Once you get to the bridge, there's a drawbridge in the middle of Mystic, right in the middle of the town.
and it's not separating Mystic from another town.
No,
it's just separating just pieces,
Just
parts
because
of
there's a
Mystic.
river that goes right through it. That's why.
Right.
Not even a river. It's the ocean goes through there.
Yeah.
But it's a small bridge. It's a small drawbridge. And yesterday we're doing our thing. We started off on one side, got a
started off on
smoothie,
one side, right.
breakfast,
We
a
had
great
no
time.
masks on, just to be clear. We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
no masks on. We went into everywhere. No big deal.
That's how it's been.
Lived
It's
your
been
life.
normal. And then, we walked over. There's a really cool toy store. So we ended up getting a little something.
No mask on.
For
now,
Soul.
the toy store, just to let you truly understand, the toy store is actually right in front of the drawbridge before you actually
Right.
cross the bridge coming from this side. So it's the toy store, drawbridge, and then the new side. So in the toy store, we had no masks on. The person in the store had no mask on. No one had a mask on.
Clearly,
It was not an
this
issue.
story is leading to something to do with masks.
Right? Because they have to understand, we can't just go into it. They have to get it, So then we crossed the drawbridge.
And it's a whole other world over there.
And it's a whole other world.
We
It's
go into
cool.
the-
It's a whole town.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's where you start. There's more shops and stuff over there. So
you want
wanna
to be on that side.
Yeah, you want to go into these places.
a great
so
place.
we go. The first place we go is the tea shop.
Tea shop.
Right over the bridge. We walk in. We're in there for maybe
second,
20 seconds, if that. And then we get to the back, and the girl's way in the back. She's got her mask on. She's
She
like,
pops out of nowhere too.
yeah. She's like,
She was like, pop.
on this side of the bridge, you have to wear a mask in the store.
On this side of the bridge.
Yeah, and we were like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't know." And then she didn't say anything. She just looked at us like get the fuck out of here," right? And I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like, "Sorry, we didn't come in here trying to spread COVID. We didn't know the rules around here." You
Right.
know?
So then we left, obviously. But I got to tell you guys, what I really wanted to get into actually was so I'm vaccinated. I got vaccinated not just because of just fear for me giving it to my daughter, because that was one of the reasons. And of course, my dad, sending me his dad fucking messages of fear and shit like that, which is so annoying. But I also got it because, to be honest, I wanted to be able to do shit because I knew that it was going to get to a point where we weren't going to be able to do anything without this fucker, right? So I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. I'm already vaccinated. My parents got me vaccinated, whatever. So I went, I got it, cool. So in this moment, I'm vaccinated, right? And I know that you can still get COVID while vaccinated, but the whole point was also so that I could actually do shit. Now I'm vaccinated. I'm in a store with no mask because what the fuck, right? And I'm being told to get out of the store. I felt very shunned.
You felt very unvaccinated, didn't you?
I felt very unvaccinated. I felt very not wanted. And I felt very like I was like the bottom of someone's fucking shoe. Like, so then we
Welcome
couldn't
to
go
my
in,
world.
So then we couldn't go into any store that was on that side of the bridge. Not one. Not one we could get into.
We walked all the way down to Mystic Pizza
Went to
for the movie.
Mystic Pizza because you guys know the movie Mystic Pizza with Julia Roberts.
Took pictures outside.
Took
Couldn't
pictures,
go inside.
Couldn't go in. Couldn't go inside. Took pictures outside. And so I was really kind of like empathizing in that moment with people who are not vaccinated and who are not vaccinated for a reason. You know, like it's just their belief. Like, fine, cool, right?
Well, not even the belief. There are some people that have gotten COVID already and recovered from it, and they have the strongest immune system to preventing them from getting COVID.
Right, but those people's beliefs is still the belief
Well,
of.
I mean,
I have
at that, but
immune
at that
system, so I'm not. So what the fuck?
But at that point, if you have, if you've already gotten COVID, you've recovered from it, you feel great, you have the highest level of immunity to COVID.
I understand
according
that.
to the studies.
So, but their belief, so their thought with that is also then just saying like, why should I have to get a vaccine?
Right.
If I'm, yeah, I already know that.
Which a more logical way to do this whole thing is to have tests, right? The antibody tests.
Hold on.
If
We're going somewhere. We're like, let's finish the story. Right. Okay.
sorry.
So we have this whole thing. So then I'm like really kind of thinking. I'm like, so I was empathizing. Really was where I was going with this, with just people who are not vaccinated, who just strongly believe that they don't want to get vaccinated. Fine. And I see how individuals who are not vaccinating are being treated just throughout like social media or throughout just like, you know, people posting things, even in shows. Like I was watching a show this morning, that show You. If you guys haven't watched it, I'm sure you guys know about it on Netflix. It's insane. It's the best. Anyway, on this season, they're not really going, there's no like, I'm not going to give anything away, but they're not really going into COVID, which is cool. However, there's this one episode where something happens. They end up at the hospital. Now they're wearing masks and all this shit. And then the kid gets like the measles. The kid gets the measles. So again, they're still not mentioning COVID, but it's interesting because as they're talking and as they're doing their acting or whatever, there's lines that they're saying that are like going against anti-vaxxers. So like this one scene, she's like, some stupid fucking anti-vaxxer gave my son the measles because they don't want to just get vaccinated. And I was like, oh my God, they're putting this in shows. And now what they're doing, and there's
messaging.
Right, because it's about the measles, quote unquote, in this episode, right? But that's what they're doing. So I'm in this moment, I'm in Connecticut and I'm thinking about all this shit. And I'm feeling really, I'm like, this is fucked up and it's not right. And it's not fucking, it's just not cool. Like, it really isn't. It's not cool to fucking shun people just because this is what they want to do and this is what they believe in. I'm walking into a store. I'm in the United States of America walking into a store and I literally was told to leave because I wasn't wearing a mask, and I fucking felt that shit. I don't know if anybody else has been there, but like I really felt that shit. And I'm not the one to complain and be like, no, I'm not. That's just not me. So I was like, okay, fine, cool. And I walked out. But the point of me bringing this up is because although I respect the person who said that, I'm going to walk out, in my mind and afterwards, I was still like, damn, this shit is fucked up. Like, not cool.
Yeah, and I mean, my thing with that particular store was like, she wasn't even like, sorry, we're just kind of complying or whatever.
Nothing.
She was just like, get the fuck out, you're spreading COVID.
She didn't say that, but she was very clear. She was like, on this side of the bridge. Now, why is it that Connecticut, that Mystic Connecticut has one side of the bridge where you can wear masks? No, where you have to wear masks, and one side where you don't have to? I don't get it.
Yeah, if anybody can answer that, please let us know.
I don't understand.
It's like they're in like a Mystic Connecticut civil war over there.
It's very
this side of the bridge.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I don't know much history about Mystic, so I don't know. But it seems like that side of the bridge is run very tightly. It was crazy.
So there's a different mayor on that side of the bridge or something.
What happened? But so anyway, we left Mystic, then we went to Foxwoods. Where we spent the majority of our time, and we went to the spa and had a whole amazing day at the spa, which was great.
Yeah, we got a massage and
Couples massage. I got a CBD treatment all in my body for inflammation. I highly suggest if anyone has inflammation to get it if it's being offered somewhere, because it actually really helped.
Yeah, if you've never been to that G Spa over there, that's what's called G Spa at Foxwoods. It's in the Fox Towers. It's super cool and just chill spot where you could do anything. You get pedicures, you can get your hair done, you can get a massage. There's a bunch of other things. And then there's an indoor pool area with like a big jacuzzi and saunas in the locker rooms, and all that you get to access the whole day. Just for having a massage there or getting your nails done or something.
So we hung out there all day.
So yeah, we hung out for a good portion of the day there.
And then we got ready, and then Joe had to gamble.
We had, well, we had late reservations, and then that's another story. We were looking to try and get a different restaurant, but we wanted to go to this one place anyways, Spain. So we said, all right, fuck it, we'll keep the late reservation, and then we'll just hang out here for a little while. And then so we hit up the roulette tables.
Not because I wanted to, because Joe had to gamble.
It was like, why not, right?
No, it wasn't like, why not? You have to gamble. Like, you wanted to gamble and you had to.
You're making me sound like a fucking...
it had to be... Is it roulette or roulette?
Roulette.
Roulette, okay. It had to be roulette.
What do they call a person addicted to gambling? Gambleholic?
Gambling addict?
Gambling addict, yeah. You're making me sound like that. When was the last time I even gambled? Probably years ago.
I don't know if that's true, because when was the last time you gambled on a UFC fight?
That was at least a year ago.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. And then roulette, like actual real gambling, it's probably been like... That was probably before Soul was born.
Right, because you went to the casino with your dad, I think.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Okay, you're right.
So anyways, I won.
You won? Like $500. It was crazy. I had no idea what was going on.
And that was all within because we're trying to burn time, but that was like 15 minutes.
That was not 15 minutes.
It was longer than that? How long was
So you see what happens when you're at the casino? When you're at the casino gambling, because they pump all that fucking oxygen in the air, you have no idea what time it is. You have no idea what's going on. You're just going. The only person who knew what the hell was going on was me, because I was the only one sitting in there, bored as fuck, not caring about anything.
She just kept seeing the stacks roll in.
But everybody else was like, whoa, 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 whoa. People were getting hyped.
You could have taken that opportunity to learn the game a little bit.
I don't care about gambling. I mean, I've just never really... Gambling's not my thing. It's not fun. Oh my God. Joe has to stop. Joe has to stop.
Sorry. Thought we had an issue.
Okay,
Thought we had a
something's
technical
happening.
issue. We don't though.
Sure.
So then that was good. Of course, I still got scolded even though we won.
You didn't get scolded. I just said, can we please leave now? Because you've already won $500. I would prefer that we just tap out. You put $200 in. And I think this is good. Let's go.
It was good. It was a good time to go because the dealer was switching out anyways. And then what do we do? Then we literally did laps around the place about 3 times because we were like, oh, let's get an appetizer because we had literally 4 hours to burn.
Yeah, so much time.
Before we had to drive an hour to the restaurant.
Back home.
Yeah, we didn't stay there because it was just it was too much going on.
Yeah, it's crazy, you guys. I mean, just now that life is basically somewhat back to normal, I guess, as normal as it could be. Saturday night, not fun.
Oh yeah, so we went from the Fox Tower over to the main casino area, and you get in over there, and it's packed. There's people everywhere shopping and freaking eating food and gambling.
I mean, honestly, if we don't get COVID from that, then it's I think we're pretty good because that shit was there was no
weaving in the crowds.
There was no it was like you were in a packed concert and just people were just bobbing and weaving and smushed. That's how packed this shit was.
Yeah. I liked it because I think it's like good. I think that everybody wants to be normal. There you go. That's normal.
Yeah, I was fine. I mean, it's interesting because still in my head when I'm in situations like that, I still have it in my head where I'm like,
that's
God,
that Milton.
Please
That's that Milton.
Please don't do it. Like I do things because again, like I like to push through my fears as much as I can. But like, yeah, that Milton, man, the myth, the Milton's in the background when I'm bobbing and weaving, and he's like,
watch out for that guy. Look
watch
at
out,
that guy.
watch out, Long's cough. Put your mask on. You're gonna get COVID.
That guy just rubbed his nose.
I know.
Stay on the other side of him.
So, but I mean, we'll see. So. We went into this place to have some appetizers, and we had
Scorpio.
With Scorpio, we had some tostones.
It took us a while to find a restaurant to get an appetizer.
It was packed.
we just literally wanted to like some chips and guac
Sit
or
at
whatever.
the bar.
Sit at the bar and hang out and burn time.
Yeah.
You know. So, anyways, yeah, we did, and then we got into.
We got into a conversation with just you and I first. This is how it started.
Right.
Because okay, so basically what happened was when we paid at the spa, just so that you guys understand the whole story. When we got out and we were paying for the spa, the total was like, it was like $400, we'll say, right? And so I never have cash on me ever, and my husband knows this about me. You should know that, okay? I never have cash. But we did talk about coming to the spa prior, and we talked about like both paying. It was just a thing. We were just like it was like, okay, I guess we're both just going to pay for it. Okay, cool, fine. And I understood that. I'm fine with contributing. I contribute all throughout this marriage financially. So when it was time to pay, I was like, well, I don't have cash. So I was like, well, Joe said, well, why don't you just pay the tip or something like that or some shit. And I was like, well, I don't have cash. And he was like, well, then it's not going to be, I don't know, something went down. Anyway, it ended up that I ended up paying less than Joe did.
Oh, because it was a certain amount of money, but then we had to tip them on top of it.
Right.
But you can't add it into like the charge.
Right.
Yeah, it has to be separate. Because
Right.
I was like, all right, we'll just add it all together and we'll just split it. And they wouldn't do that. So then I was like, okay. So then we split the amount and then I just paid the tip.
Right. So basically,
which means I ended up paying more.
More, okay? So then what he does is he wants to basically bring it up at the spa. But we're paying, and then I'm like, well, I don't have cash, so da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you're my husband. Like, was our wedding anniversary? Like, just pay. And he's just like, so then he's like, well, we should talk about these things. Like, wanting to have this conversation at the register. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, let's just get out of here, you know? So now we're at Scorpio. We're at the restaurant. And I bring it up to him because I'm like, I really didn't appreciate how you, wanted to have this conversation about money at the register as we're paying
now,
at the spa.
Let's remind people that this isn't something I do on the regular, is it?
Okay, so this is what I will say about you. I'm so glad we're talking about this, actually. What I will say about you is that I do believe that you are a person that actually does really enjoy, doing things for me and Soul financially and stuff like that. You love being able to provide and paying for dinner. However, when you get something in your head, if something's discussed, you stick to that very, very much so. So, for example...
Well, that's why we discuss it.
So, very much so. So, because we discussed that we'd be splitting things financially, we have two separate accounts. When we got married, we never, brought it together. And so we were like, okay, fine, no big deal. We'll just both... And so, since that was discussed, you have been very, very okay, this is what we said. He'll go back to a conversation we had 3 years ago, and he's like, but this is what was said. And I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Well, what's the point of the discussions if we're not going to stick to it?
I'm like, Jesus, okay, fine. So anyway, yes, for the most part you do, but what you're really rigid with your thinking at times, and you're so black or white, everything is this and that. So in those moments you get really particular, and then it becomes a big deal when I'm like, what is the big deal? But for you, it's a big deal because in your mind, you must be like, well, we talked about this and she's going off track.
I guess that's what's going on in my head. I'm like, well, this is blowing my mind. Well, I thought we already had this conversation.
Right.
We already had this conversation, right?
Right.
So that's why for the most part, we don't even have conversations. And it's just all right, I just pay or whatever. And then I don't have to...
But you always give me a look. I do want to be clear. You do give me a look. Whenever you pay, you give me a look of
pay for dinner?
whenever you pay, like for example, at the spa, when you ended up paying more, you looked at me like it was
Well,
like
at the
a
spot,
look of
because,
like,
well, that was one that we had a discussion about.
and I was
then,
like, oh my God.
because you're always trying to slide through. You always, even if it's like $20, we have a discussion about splitting everything, but you get $20 off. So, flip the script on yourself a little bit here.
So anyway, so I brought this conversation up. So then I was like, he was like, well, like, was I supposed to pay for the whole thing? And I was like, well, I mean, it's our wedding anniversary. And I just feel like in society, it's like a typical traditional thing for just the husband to pay for the wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you have the really expensive ring on your finger. Like, oh, no, this was our day. So we have to do this for the rest of our lives. So like we should do this together.
Like,
I can't afford to do it for the rest of our lives.
I get it. However, I'm just saying, I feel like in society, traditionally speaking, I feel like the societal traditional way is that men pay for the wedding anniversary. So then he was like, I don't know about this.
That was our theory, right?
So then I was like, well, we have to ask. Well, it just so happened that we had this older couple, maybe in their upper 50s.
Yeah, maybe 60,
yeah.
Late 50s.
Upper 50s, early 60s, husband and wife that were sitting right next to us. And so I was like, I'm just going to ask this guy. And he was like, no, don't bother him. And I was like, I'm going to ask him. So I tap on his shoulder. And I was like, excuse me, sir. So I asked him, like, hey, guys, you've been married for a while, blah, blah, blah. Like, what's the standard when it comes to wedding anniversaries? This is our first anniversary, blah, blah, blah. Is it a traditional thing for the husband to pay? Or do you split it? What do you do? And then we got into a really good conversation.
What's the first thing he said when you asked that was like, I haven't seen my check in 35 years.
Yep, that's what he said. Like, quote. And he's serious. I haven't seen my check in 36. It was 36 years I haven't seen my check.
Meaning that they have a joint account and everything was split 50-50. Like whatever was put into that account, they share everything.
Right.
Meaning that they did split the fucking
basically they were splitting things, but his check just goes into that account and then his wife, has control of just like whatever. I mean,
now that I think about it though, maybe it's not
they're not splitting it because
she might make less than him or
exactly.
She might make more than him.
And also when he says I haven't seen my check in 36 years, he's also, to me it also sounds like he's saying that not only is he putting money in that account, but he's not seeing that money.
Because
she's taking it and using it. Because what he said was he does side jobs
to have his own
private money that he keeps on the side. I'm like,
why don't you just have your own money anyways, and then just have an account for when you pay bills?
That is what he said. So basically, he was like, look, he said we're very traditional.
Yeah.
That they are Italian, and not saying that that's but I'm saying like I think it's very cultural as well. So I think in like the, traditional Italian family or traditional even like Hispanic, okay, like there's certain cultural pieces there, Indian, whatever. And so in their culture, he's like, this is what we do. Like the man basically like, pays for everything. Here's the money, and the wife basically just does, whatever she does.
The whole sharing and the bank account thing. I don't know what that that's something that's I don't know if it's a cultural thing or just kind of what people have done in the past.
I think it's a traditional thing. I think the people sharing of the bank accounts is a very traditional thing based on society's like traditions.
Right. And it never made sense to me really. I mean, I guess I get it, but like why?
It makes sense, but I think that I understand both ways. I understand putting your money in one account.
It makes sense for a woman that or a guy that makes less than their spouse. Always makes sense to that person.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense to me regardless. I just feel weird about it because for me, I've never, it's like I've never had to share my account with anyone, so it's just weird. Now I know that you're seeing my account, now you see everything. I mean, you know what I spend anyway, because I always go to fucking stores and come back with something.
Yeah, this is why we don't do it, is because if we did share an account, she would have to really buckle down on a lot of shit. I would be all up in her shit. So now I'm like, fine, whatever. As long as you could pay your portion of the bills, right. I don't give a fuck what you do with the rest of it. You don't save a penny, I don't give a fuck.
That's my main reason why I don't want to share an account with you, because he would literally be, I mean, he's annoying to begin with. You're annoying to begin with, but then you'd really be up my ass.
Well, these are all things that are actually, that you know that you should do anyway. Like this, I realized this last night, I think we both kind of did, that like you get quote unquote annoyed at me when I'm telling you things that we've either already talked about or you just know that is the right way to do it, but you don't like to hear it. You don't like to hear it from somebody else. So
no,
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you.
I don't mind hearing it. I don't. I get annoyed hearing it from you because you always have to tell me something. It's just like a day can't go by. It is
always happening. I don't know.
A day can't go by where you're not just like, you know what? She already knows this. I already told her. So why the hell am I going to bring it up again? It's like, but you tell me all the time.
Clearly, I don't think that you already know it because you're still doing it.
But can't you think that I actually know it? And I'm choosing to still do it and know it at the same time. Like, it's my
no, that
choice.
blows my mind because we'll have logical conversation about it, and you're like, yeah, I know, I'm going to start doing this, and then you just don't, and then I'm just supposed to say nothing as I continue to see it over and over and over again.
I know, though. So yes, for the future, you don't have to say anything. Clearly, it's not working.
So why do we have the discussions in the first place about some of these things? Like,
first of all, it depends on which discussions we're having. The discussions about the money, I think we've been pretty clear on. You pay for this, I pay for this, we split this, this is how much I pay for mortgage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm great with the way that it is. I'm fine. You know, I just, there's things like saving and like just fucking Terminex and shit that don't do anything.
First of all, Joe, I save money. Let's be clear, all right? You just don't know how much money I save because I have like different accounts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, maybe that's true. Good.
It's
Fine.
Not true. You're my You're my savings. I just didn't want you to think that was true because then you would think that I was okay and I totally just have a huge savings. But my huge savings is yours.
I know where the real savings is in your brain. In the back of your head, you're like, my savings bank is whatever Milton has.
Oh my God, Joe! How dare you embarrass me on this national, worldwide podcast?
It's the truth, right? It's like,
oh my!
Listen, I'm all about to, and he'll admit it too. It's like, right?
Dare you? I am embarrassed, and I feel betrayed.
We can edit it out if you want.
No, I guess this is real life, but I can't believe this.
At Milton, though. Yeah.
And actually, my savings isn't Milton. It's actually you right now because you're my husband.
Well, now you got double savings. You know what? That's exactly why you don't save shit. If I knew I had backup double savings no matter what, I wouldn't save anything either. Why?
I would like everyone to know here that I am a successful licensed mental health therapist.
Well, no, here's the thing. Like,
and I make my own money and I do quite well.
Right. Listen, Aaliyah does well and she could easily save, but she chooses to like just... And this is fine for people that have money. They can do whatever they want with it, you know? It's not like you're like buying crack with it or some shit. You're usually buying things for a kid or... You know, every once in a while, you know, some like TJ Maxx is where all that money goes, really. TJ Maxx is her piggy bank that is she's never going to see again.
Honestly, guys, like, between TJ Maxx and Home Goods, I can't. I fucking can't.
I'm sure that's the case with a lot of people. TJ Maxx is a great place. So yeah, anyways, we ended up having like literally an hour and a half long conversation with them about kids, and they were like super aware of all kinds of things, and they had been together since they were 15. And they were like probably like 60 something. Right?
15.
Early
Their
60.
oldest daughter's 31, youngest
just got
son is
married
26.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
The kids are out of the house and they have been together this whole time. And usually that's like, all right, that happens, right?
It happens.
But you don't really
it's rare.
notice, like these two, you wouldn't have thought they've been together all that time since they were little kids because they were so aware of themselves and the relationship and how they were raising the kids. Like we asked him questions all the steps through the way, like because he told me like when your daughter turns 12, between 12 and 17, she's not gonna like you. Just bear with it, and she'll get past it.
Bring it back. She will come back.
But like we went through several stages, and they were like very aware of everything
Each
that they
stage was
did
great.
throughout the stage and how one person balanced out the other person. It was very interesting. I think like there are a lot of people have gotten together when they were younger, but they kind of just become roommates and deal with it because they don't evolve properly together. You know, they get
right, or they're just not talking as much as they think they actually are.
Right.
Like it was clear to me that this couple has spent a lot of time like communicating with each other, you know, and really getting into serious stuff, which was really refreshing, to be quite honest, to like see and hear. And then it got me thinking, where I was like, I don't understand. No, not that I don't understand. That's not right.
Was that a quote unquote? I don't understand.
Oh, like when I act like I'm being stupid. Yeah, it was, but I'm trying to not do that, I guess. So, I think like, what's that noise?
That's like a fucking crow outside.
Is it a crow or a mouse?
I don't know. No, it's like going.
Yeah, is it a mouse that's stuck on a trap?
Oh my god, no.
Okay, oh my god.
Even if a mice was
disgusting.
caught on a trap, you wouldn't even know it.
So what really gets me about this conversation was it really showed me, and I know how important people are, meaning like I know how important it is to have people in your life, whether these are people that came into your life for 5 minutes or people that came into your life for, you know, years. Okay. I know how important that is for just you as an individual, especially growth. It is like the foundation actually of growth. Okay. So it's important. But in this moment, after this conversation, I was like, damn, like this is what I'm talking about. This is why people are so important. This is why relationships are so important. This is why it's so important to open yourself up to these things, because there are people in my life that I've come across, that we've come across, who have made like a significant impact in my life. I don't know about yours, but I know in my life. And one of those people, the connection's not. I don't think it's working.
It's not on?
Nope. Sorry, we're trying to do live and something's wrong with the connection, so it's not working. There are people who I meet, who I've met for just like 2 minutes or whatever, that really have left an impact. One this couple that we met last night. I will never forget them, never, and I'll never forget his name because he's from Boston, and it was a serious Mac.
It's Kathy with the C and Mark with the C. That's
Mac.
how they introduce themselves.
Mac. Okay,
Like-
that's how you say his name.
C. We know how to spell.
Yeah. So anyway, so I will never forget them. I highly enjoyed them. The other people that we met for literally just about 30 minutes, that I'll also never forget, was the husband and wife, the teachers from San Francisco,
In Tulum.
in Tulum, Mexico, when we were there, and they were there vacationing with their like college daughter
With
and
her
her
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
And we got into a great conversation just about parenting and about life and I was just like, and I'll never forget them.
And they
They
were out
left
there,
such an impact.
and they were like a cool older parents that
Yep.
like just
totally chill.
they brought their college daughter with her friend to vacation with them and just hang out and
And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
that's
you know?
the shit I want to do when we're older, not like go to Disney World or something.
No,
with
I
our
want to go to
college
cool
kids.
places like that. And like, we're hanging out with my college daughter, you know, because it's like,
Yeah.
come on. But yeah, so anyway, it got me thinking about that and just and really the significance of relationships.
Oh yeah, you were saying yesterday about like just like about the importance of getting out and physically communicating and touching and communicating with random people like at a restaurant or wherever you go, you know, and that's we have all the social media and like, you know, you can do Instagram Live and FaceTime and all this other shit, but
Right.
it's not the same as like just
No.
getting out there and just being open and trying to talk to some random people because you'll learn things. I always learn things.
Oh my
Every
God,
time you
it's
just
great.
open up to somebody, right?
It's great. And so what I mean by relationships are the foundation of growth. I'm focused also, just so that I'm clear, on any relationship. So to me, a relationship is whether, again, it's for 5 seconds or it's for 10, 20, 30 years. It doesn't matter. It was a relationship that occurred. It's something that happened, you know, and for that moment, there was something, you know? So that's what I'm talking about. So even having those 5-second ones, I mean, standing on line at Target, even just like there's been moments where I've been on line at Target and let's say the line was like super long. And in my head, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. What's going on? And I'm feeling almost like I'm going through this by myself. Like I'm going crazy. Like I'm like, this is so crazy. And then the woman behind me will just be like, oh my God. And I'm like, yes, thank you for feeling the same way that I feel. And now we're talking about it for a second and I feel connected. I feel supported. Thank you for sharing in my frustration.
I mean, I wouldn't encourage too much of that. That's kind of like a negative.
It's not a negative because I felt
bitching about. You're just complaining about.
We weren't complaining, but we both
together.
But we did not complain. What we both did was I had recognized that when she made that sound, I felt the same way that she felt, and so I acknowledged that feeling because I felt it. So I looked at her and I was like, right? That's all I did, and she was just like, girl, and that's just, honestly, it's like that was like the extent of like the relationship. But in that moment, I felt like this person understood me. I understood her. We were like high five mode and we were a team in that moment.
I think a better example of that.
It's not a better example.
No, there is a better
better or not, but like, no, but fuck that. I want to be clear because people don't take moments like that seriously. And those moments are actually really important, you know, because it's about feeling supported. It's about feeling acknowledged. How many times have, let's say, people been somewhere sad, depressed, this and that, at Starbucks, whatever, by themselves, and they feel like shit. If they knew that somebody else was also sitting in that Starbucks that felt the same fucking way, you know, I mean, the support could actually feel, and it could be like so strong in terms of the impact that it could make in that moment.
True.
Am I like
sure.
going, I mean, like, this is like.
All right. I see where you're going with that. I was going to say kind of another angle from that, which is, but doing the same thing, but in a different way, was what you did yesterday when we were going down the escalator at Foxwoods, and there was an older lady in front of us, and she was kind of, you know, she was dressed as, she had her like kind of leather jacket on, and she had a little bob haircut, and Aaliyah was like, oh my God, her hair is so cute or whatever. So when we got off the escalator, she tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, like, I really love your hair and it's so cute. And I was like, yeah, your jacket's dope too. And I mean, this lady was probably like 70 years old, right? And she was like, she just beaming. She was like, oh my God, thank you. That was so nice. She was like, I love you. She was like, that was like the nicest thing anybody said or whatever. And you could see when she walked off, she was like, she was going to go spread
she was like
fucking cheer
she was
to
like,
the rest
she
of
had
the
a
casino.
Pep to her step. And prior to that comment, she really didn't have any pep. And then she had pep, and I was like, oh my God, that felt so nice. Like, I'm so glad she's happy.
And seeing that perspective, we weren't like sharing like a negative experience. It was like actually just giving good energy to somebody so they could go.
But Joe, well, you're not understanding. Stop saying that because no, I'm serious because I tell my patients this, and so and I stress this a lot. In that moment that I shared, in terms of being on the line, that was not a negative moment. That was a moment of, again, someone else acknowledging, recognizing, feeling, and knowing something that I am feeling in that moment. There was no complaining.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
So if you're not going.
So again, if I'm going to take it to the extent of, let's say, somebody at who is feeling depressed and wants to fucking commit suicide for a second, if you want me to go that deep, right? And I will go that deep. Okay. So for that person who's now standing on line at Target. Okay, they're in their head. They are feeling hopeless. They are feeling helpless. They are feeling depressed. They have all these thoughts going on. All right. And let's say the one thing that could snap them out of something in that moment is just a brief encounter of literally just someone else acknowledging a feeling that they have, because guess what? You see me. You see me. You see me and you hear me. Do you know how many people in this world who are depressed and hopeless who feel not heard? I feel very strongly about this. So this is very...
Well, I get that now. Now, as long as you're talking something different than just being like, oh, this fucking guy's taking forever in the line.
That's just not the focus. That's not the focus.
It's different. Yeah.
It's not the focus. Sorry, I get really fucking like when it comes to this shit, I get really serious about it. But like, do you get it? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes. Just I had to like separate the different things there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So those were actually, that's like 3 different aspects of what we're talking about here. One of which is probably not a healthy one, which is the one where like we're standing in line and I'm like, oh, this fucking guy up there is taking forever. Yeah, he fucking sucks. Like that one is probably more the negative route that...
But no one's talking about that.
Right. No, but that's one of the 3 that we're talking about. The other one was the one that you were talking about, and is just acknowledgement of support.
Recognition.
Yeah.
You hear me. You see me. Thank you.
Right. And then the other one is just like giving out energy, good energy to somebody, and then they...
But that one's also has to do with you see me.
I guess so, yeah.
Right? You see me. Thank you.
Yeah, the other one's just fucking bitching and complaining.
Yeah. Yeah. You would be such a fucking pain in the ass patient. I swear. I don't even understand. Like, I would literally be like, why is he not? Because even just in this conversation, I'm like, why did this conversation even go so long? Why did I have to go that far? Because for some reason, you couldn't understand what I was saying. Yet I've explained this to people who I work with. And they get it, like, very quickly. It's not but yet you are so, like, I don't understand how that you didn't put that together.
All right, so even the example that you were giving, or not the example, the actual thing that happened to you in line, that has the potential to go down that path, but you chose to keep it where it was, just as recognition, and then that was a moment, right? But that has the potential to go down the negative path of, like, complain about how long things take, and then you just bitch about all these other things and relate to each other about things sucking, right?
Or just keep right. No, I know what you're saying, but like I'm just where you didn't see my connection. So what you're comparing that to is almost like the lady that was online at the airport when we got back from Mexico, who was behind us, and she was bitching and complaining about how long the line was, but she wouldn't stop.
And then she ended up going further back in line because she probably deserved.
She would not stop. She would not stop.
She was flipping out.
Yeah. That's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, but she was trying to bring us into that shit.
She was trying to bring us in.
She was trying to bring us into that world of like complaining and bitching.
I was like, I can't.
We're like, no, go talk to somebody else.
In order to get through this damn line, I need to be as like positive. So that's what happened to me in the Target line. Like, because I knew that she was irritated also, it actually made me feel like not even heard and supported, but made me feel like, okay, cool. So I'm not the only one that's frustrated here. She's frustrated. A lot of people are probably irritated. Cool. I'm calm now because now I just feel, again, like everybody or people like get me, you know?
Yeah.
It's like going to an AA meeting or some shit like that, you know? It's like I feel supported going to a meeting where it's like, not that I go to AA, but like just an example, right? Like, or Al-Anon, because I actually did go to Al-Anon. Coda, you know, those to any meeting. It's great to go and walk into it because you feel like, oh God, I'm not the only one who fucking feels this and thinks this. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah. I think my whole point is like, you know, that's great to feel acknowledgement, but
these
you don't want to.
You don't want to. Talking about these are the relationships I'm talking about.
You just don't want to like take it
no
in
negative.
another
I get
direction,
it, but these are the relationships that I'm focusing on that are important and the foundation of growth. To be honest, I think even the complaining relationship is actually also a piece of that. To be quite honest, because
not a healthy piece.
It could very well be a healthy piece.
Okay. But all right, maybe there's a time range.
Right. Right. How do I learn from something if I don't experience it?
Right.
So how am I able to take myself out of something and go, oh wait, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best thing or something like that if I've never gone through it? I have to go through things that also may not be the healthiest and may not be the best.
100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. But if you live there all the time, and
then you live there all the time, then okay, you know. But obviously the point is to hopefully not live there all the time and learn something from it.
Yeah. I don't know if that's clear to a lot of people. I don't think that's very obvious.
You don't know what's clear to a lot of people.
I don't think it's obvious to people, like not all. all people to get out of that and not complain. Like there's plenty of people I know that literally relate to each other by complaining about their thing, and then the other person's just like, well, I can't, you did that, well my shit was like blah 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 blah, and that's how they talk for hours.
Yes.
Like, and then that's the world that they live in for their whole life. So it's not obvious to like get out of that.
But my thing, it's not obvious, but my thing is like, is it, and this is where I feel like I'm going to lose you, but I'm going to explain it because this is where I'm going to.
All right, this could be a long conversation.
Is it really that, like, is that example that you just gave of those individuals, is that like so bad? Was that so awful? Is that so,
I guess
like,
not in their world, but they're not real. If you take it into consideration of like a world perspective of like understanding things and like how things work and like how to evolve, then yeah, it's not good. You're like in your bubble. That's where you're going to be forever.
So you're
keeping yourself in a cycle.
Right. So I'm going to say it's not the healthiest. And
that's what I was saying before.
And the hope is that people can come out of that. However, in the event that they don't, and that's where they are living in, then that's where they're living.
I guess. Yeah.
And that's what they're choosing to do because.
But maybe they just don't know any better. They haven't seen anything else.
Now, if they don't know any better and they have not seen anything else, then they have no idea. So that's just that, okay? Like that's their life. However, there are people who, let's say, do live that life, who have people in their lives who call them out and tell them things, but they still choose to stay there. That's a choice. Due to fear.
Yes. So they'll find people that do that thing, and they'll be like, that person, fuck them. Even though that person is probably the one that's going to help them evolve in life.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, they're like, fuck them. I'll just go back to these people and we'll just keep the
it's
cycle
easier.
going.
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier. Let's just like, get that whole thing going. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what I feel like we talked so much about it, but that's what I meant when I was talking about relationships being the foundation of growth and so important to every human being in this world. Like you need, and so like when I tell people you need people, what I mean when I say that is like people help people to grow. People help people to evolve. People help people to gain some insight. People help people to... So that's kind of what I mean by like we need people. Gotta have it.
Yep. Yeah. There are some people probably that feel as though there's too many people on Earth and all this other stuff, and they only need their own little clique or whatever.
Right.
I guess they feel as though that's the truth. But in reality, it's probably not.
Mm-hmm. But that could also come from fear, right? Can come, which fear is probably a really big one.
Which is a lot of the fear. That was kind of going back to the last episode, but like
I hate fear.
That prevents a lot of people from. There's like for even somebody to admit that they're fearful of something, is a whole process sometimes because of ego.
Well, it's so what I've noticed is it's all about how you present it or how you say it. So like I've noticed that if I'm sitting with and these are just things that I've noticed. So I'm not trying to like, put people in like a category, but like I've noticed that if I am sitting in a room with a male, okay, and I notice that there's some fear with this male, okay, and I'll purposely use the word scared.
Oh.
And I'll use it purposely. Because I know it's going to happen in that moment.
I'm not scared.
Right. And that's what does happen. And so then they're like, I'm not scared. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, and then I kind of like, basically, I then say the word fear, which is the same thing as scared, right?
Yeah.
But I say fear and I'll connect it to something. And then they're like, well, yeah, I guess so. And I'm like, so then you're scared. And then they're like,
they have to admit it.
Right. They're like, but yeah, so it's really just how you present it, how you say it and stuff like that. But, I mean, so I think men is kind of who I've seen it with a lot. And I do see it with women, one being myself. Like I hate now, I mean, I admit that I have like fear and anxiety and that whole entire night. It's so fucking annoying. But there are many women also who are very, very avoidant who don't want to.
Would you think that women are more open or more apt to admit their fearfulness of something as opposed to guys?
And again, I'm just going right. I'm just going based on what I know. I'm going based on solely just the population of individuals who I've worked with. Yes.
So that's most likely the ego then, right?
Yes.
Because guys have probably a bigger ego.
I think there's lots of things. I think it's ego.
Part.
I think it's ego. I think it's culture. I think it's like traditional stereotypes of like the male and what you're supposed to be and this and that and blah blah blah. So it's all these things combined. I will tell you though, like working, I mean, with not saying that working with females it's not fun. I love that too, but with males, it's because with males you gotta get the nail and the hammer, and it's like. It's like you're like just like going away at it, and I gotta keep going to get, and then when you get it, it's like boof, it's like this huge, great thing because there's so much wall,
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that women don't have that too. I've had many women who I've had to do that with too, but men, it's like a every session.
Yeah.
What
I've found, because I have also gone through that experience, over. Took a long time, probably like 10 years or so. But is that once you are able to admit that you are fearful of certain things, of anything, all new things that pop up or whatever, you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. And then you can just like deal with it right then and then hop over the fear and see what's on the other side and see whether you like it or not. And then if it's still like crazy, then you can come back. But if you just like, don't even admit the fear and you just then once you don't admit it but deep down inside you are, there's a blockade. It's like anybody that tries to talk you over the fence to see if it's really scary or not, you're like, fuck that shit. That's that wall that I built up because I'm not scared.
I think you have some of that though.
Do I? With what? Let's talk about that.
I'm trying to think. Well, you always want to talk about yourself, so of course. But I mean, fucking selfish, self-absorbed. But
just trying to better myself. That's what I want to hear things.
Joe
from
likes
people.
to talk about himself because he likes to better himself. Someone sent something really long. What is that?
Okay. Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, you may read this or?
No. I just wanted to hear some kind of like feedback or something like that. Or
all right. So Jess says sometimes when you explain the physiological and neurological stress response, most people can deny the impact of stress, fear, and anxiety. This is the most successful tactic I use in my practice. Oh, right. Practice. What are you doing? Right. I can't even see what's. I can't go to her profile right now.
I see a C. So do I see? Oh no, okay, I don't.
What's that?
I'm wondering. So
thanks, Jess.
I know. Yeah. Is this another clinician on as well?
Yeah, it's in her practice. She says so.
Or another someone in the mental health or healing field. That would be amazing. So yeah. So what were we talking? Oh, you wanted to talk about yourself because you're so self-absorbed.
I am just trying to better myself.
In
clinical
mental health counselor. Yes, Jess, I love it.
Nice. Thanks for listening.
Oh God, that's so cool. So you've shown fear. I think. Okay, so whenever there's resistance, or whenever I see resistance, I see fear. Mm-hmm. Because for me, resistance equals fear. Okay. Anxiety, fear, resistance. It's like this whole thing. All right. So when we're talking about something and there's this resistance from you, then I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Like, what's the fear of, And when I say fear, it could be anything. Fear of something not going the way that you wanted it to go. So fear of feeling out of control, fear of doing, and I mentioned those two things with you because I often see that with you. And I'm the same way too. Like, you know how I like my structure, you know? So it's like, but so I get it, you know? But so that can also be, that's fear as well. So resistance equals fear. That's like, always
Can we get more specific here with me? Because
maybe you need to speak to Jess actually, because I'm your wife, so it's a little different.
Well, no, because I want.
And then Jess could really get into it.
Listen, this is how you evolve from these things. You get better, right? Because like if we don't talk about the specifics, I don't even know. I really right now I'm like, okay, I guess I get what you're saying, and probably, but like, when has that happened?
Yeah, see, so like I can't really sit here and be like, oh, on Tuesday you were like this because you were like, that's not in my head right now. I'm just telling you that I've noticed resistance in some things, particularly pertaining to some type of scheduling, some type of routine or something of that sort.
Yeah, well, that was kind of what you brought up earlier, right? About having a conversation and sticking to it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I just, you know, like, for me, it's like, well, then we shouldn't even have fucking talked about it. Like, come on. Why preface something and have a conversation and say, this is what you do and this is what I do? Why do it if you're not going to fucking do it? That's why I get so mad. And if you call that resistance, then whatever.
I'm actually really excited that we have another therapist that's actually watching because this is like my dream right now, right? This is my dream. My dream has always been to get you in front of another clinician so that they can hopefully see what I see and maybe explain it to you in another way.
All right, well, read what she's saying then.
Because
we can go from there.
Because I'm your wife and it's just, you know, it's just a different thing.
See, the thing is, I realize
trauma therapist, wonderful.
Yeah, the microphone. She's not gonna be able to hear you.
Oh, trauma therapist.
What is that big thing? Great. She just wrote a lot, like a whole paragraph. You moving that does nothing.
Oh, okay.
But you gotta move the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, Joe. Jesus. Okay.
Oh, sorry. By the way, we're on live right now for anybody listening on the podcast.
Check out internal family systems. Right. It's all about avoidance. Guardedness in relation to common fears and emotional avoidance, right? Super awesome perspective. Totally. Yes. Where are you? Where are you located, Jess? Actually, just in terms of practicing, that would be cool to know as well. And actually, if you're a trauma therapist, do you do EMDR? And that would be cool to also have a fellow EMDRer. EMDR. So that's where it's like I can't just fucking live my life. I can't just live my life.
Listen, if you want to be a podcaster,
can't just live
people
my
have
life.
to hear you.
My gosh. Ohio, awesome. Okay.
My brother-in-law is from Ohio, Dayton.
That is awesome. Yes, EMDR. Yes, I love it. That's so exciting. So
yeah, what were we talking about now?
We're talking about you because that's all you ever want to talk
about. Anyways, all right. So when I say this, you're still like, I want a clinician to hear you say this. So you're saying when we have a conversation, now you know me, right? Like I can go with the flow. I can do that, right? But the reason why I have these pre-conversations on particular things is because I don't want to think about it anymore. I want to go into the situation and boom, you do you, I'll do me. But then when we're in the situation, I'm like, what the fuck? We're like in this, we already talked about before, and now you're slowing the situation down.
You can only go with the flow.
Why is that bad?
You can only go with the flow in situations where you mentally prepared yourself to go with the flow. But if it was something that you discussed and there was supposed to be a specific plan and a specific agenda, you cannot just go with the flow if it goes off of the agenda.
Yes. Now, agendas are different, I think.
Routine of the day, something planned, whatever it is.
If there was like such as yesterday, you know, the whole like splitting the payment thing. Okay, you know, that's something that I'm like, well, why do we even fucking talk about it? I would have just fucking paid for it, you know. But like as far as like a schedule, say we were supposed to go somewhere on this day and we're supposed to be there and this is what we were going to do throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then we get there and then it's thrown off. Somebody's late and somebody didn't make it. that I will at first. I might get a little irritable, but then I'll like catch myself and be like, all right, well, I can't control people and how they're going to do things. We can talk about the timing, but that doesn't mean that like we're not in control of like the fucking aquarium's fucking schedule and the tank leaks or some shit.
No. I'm not saying that you don't understand that. I believe that logically you do understand that. However, emotionally, it still gets to you because your anxiety kicks in. And that's the part of the brain. So there's two different, so we have the logical piece and the emotional piece, right? So again, logically, yes, you understand all of that. And I get that you do, and I know that you do. But on an emotional level, that anxiety kicks in and you're still like, I see it festering in you. Whether you say it or not, or whether you talk, I see it. Either your body gets tense or you fidget or like something. Like you're very...
I am clearly aware of this and I've been working on it, but like it's like certain things I will initially feel it and then I'll just like talk to myself and then I'll get over it within like 10 minutes or something and then move on with the flow of whatever the fuck's going on.
But sometimes you actually come back to it. So something that actually I may suggest to you if I may, right? So, and I'm telling you this because not only are you my husband, but I speak this language, Joe. Not the language of therapy, but the language of anxiety. I understand it, okay? And I also have an issue with structure and that whole intense. I mean, it's the fucking story of my life, right? So I get it. But like, for example, like me in those moments, like perfect. When you planned, no, you didn't plan it. When you last minute suggested that we go, what was it? You had suggested that we go somewhere and do to the lake house, to the cabin. Mm-hmm. And it was like only 3 day. There was like 3 days for me to like prepare, really, right? Because I like to mentally prepare for things. Yeah. And so you gave me 3 days to work with, which for me, that's like not enough time, right?
1 week is usually minimum.
Right. So you said it so casually and you were like, yeah, so why don't we just go to the cabin, blah, blah, blah. And I believe in that moment, I was like, okay, well, I got really quiet and because I felt the anxiety, like, and I was like, and I said it to you. I was like, I feel very uncomfortable right now, but I am going to go because I think it will be fun, but I'm feeling very out of control and very uncomfortable. And you were like, I know, but it'll be fun to do it, right? So maybe I'm suggesting that in those moments, if you can see it and you could be aware of it, that you actually just say it out loud. Like you just be like,
verbalize it.
Yeah, just verbalize it. Because what happens is, although you think that you're getting over it in 10 minutes, you don't. It still stays with you on some level to some degree. And then you bring it back to my attention like fucking hours later. And I'm like, well, clearly he was never over it, Like, so maybe you just verbalize it.
Okay. I'll try that one. I don't know. I'm trying to like think of like situations. I feel as though the most part, like once I'm in it, I'm just like, fuck it. I don't have any control over this. Forget about all that shit. Because I know that's a thing of mine, and that's been ongoing for years. I'm definitely still not perfect at it at all.
Right.
But I'm aware. So that's a good first step.
Well, no one's going to be perfect at it, I mean, no one's going to be perfect at it. Someone once told me, they were like, if you...
My goal is to be.
Perfect?
Well, no, at these things that I can control. Like, I would like 5 years from now for us to be talking about this and be like, and you to be like, yeah, you don't even do that anymore. That's my goal.
But there will be something else. Meaning, I hope there will be something else because I can't be with someone who's perfect. That's just boring.
Well, you're with somebody that's pretty close. Lucky for you.
No, definitely not. Okay.
Pretty
and I love
close.
The imperfections of people because I think that that's what kind of also gives us character and stuff like that. No one's.
Well,
no one's perfect.
No, I'm just talking about the things that I. Are brought to my attention about myself or I figure out about myself that I choose to go down that path and adjust, right? There's other things that
but there
I
will
see
always
about
be,
myself
there's
that
always
like
going to be
other people...
something else that I'm saying. So for example, we're talking about this right now, right? 5 years from now, the hope is that this issue or whatever we're talking about right now, right, I'll be like, yeah, you don't do it anymore, cool. But there will still be something else because if there is nothing else, to work on, then you're like dead.
No,
as people, there's always stuff to work on.
Well, yeah,
you should always have something to work on.
Yeah, I guess I guess I'm thinking like kind of like getting to a point where all these little things that like hinder me in life of like learning and evolving are behind me, and now it's just I see it and I can just be like, oh, and I like absorb everything and I just like learn, and there's no blockade to learning and evolving. Is that possible?
Well, like you will always be learning and evolving because you're a human being,
right? But because
our buildup, there are so many layers and so many levels and so many things going on up here subconsciously. You're always going to be learning and evolving.
But you don't think that there could be a point where like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are things that hinder people from learning, such as
barriers, right?
Yeah.
But
so get rid of all the barriers.
But you're not hindered right now from learning.
Well, I think what you just brought up right now, like if we have a schedule and we go there and it doesn't,
learning just means that you're learning something, you're gaining some insight, you're gaining some awareness into something. You don't have a block to that. You're able to do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
There are some people who absolutely who struggle with that due to certain barriers, right? Yes.
Well, maybe in that particular example that you were talking about with me, maybe there will be a time where I can just get into those situations and because right now I think that for that 10 minutes that I'm like, oh, fuck this isn't going the right way, I just lost 10 minutes. That could be all just enjoyed time learning what's going on or like enjoying the moment of where it is, but I'm wasting it with my anxiety or whatever, which is something I can resolve, and I will. So those types of things, those like kind of, I guess, I don't know what you would call them, barriers or like blockades or time consumers or whatever the fuck you want to call them, I have a goal to like eliminate in the near future.
So your goal,
I'm getting pretty close, I think.
I feel like hold on. So your goal is to get to a place where you where you no longer take that 10 minutes to really, I guess, think of.
It's already.
And you already.
Happens like that. There are so many things right now that happen like that, where maybe in the past, this is all just like off the top of my head, just like thinking of a scenario, right? But like, I'm trying to think of how I was in the past, but then now it's just like when something like that happens, boom.
Okay,
it's just
now
like I'm over it. No, okay. Nothing. I don't waste time anymore.
I'll use an example.
It's more about time, I think. Efficiency.
I'll use an example, right? So basically, what I hear you say, it's more of like okay. So for example, once upon a time, I really wasn't able to manage my obsessive compulsive thoughts. Like I would have them when I was younger, and like they were just like there, and I didn't know what to do. So I would just like react, like I had no idea, and I had no insight into it. Today though, like a really like an obsessive thought can come or some irrational thought can come, and within seconds I'm like, this is just and it's restructured so quickly.
Yeah, and then you reallocate that time now to something more
else. Okay, right, yeah. Okay,
yeah. So I think I'm getting pretty
But that's
close
not to say, I do want to be clear though, that's not to say that the obsessive irrational thoughts are never going to pop up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're still going to pop up here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm just able to like,
boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom, boom,
Right. So.
Okay, so that's what you want to get to.
It's always like the long way to...
Takes so long to describe, to like
a lot of talking
go
just
through
to
something.
get to that point. Yeah. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like there was another thing. Wasn't there something else?
What else did we want to get into today? This wasn't even expected, so we just kind of went with it.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. I don't know.
No.
I have no idea, but I do kind of just want to, just for a second, kind of go on like the parenting track for a sec. And maybe this is just me just taking a moment to just like, I don't know, process or just like not vent, but so I had a really rough day with Soul. I had a really, really rough morning with my kid, man. It was like,
yeah, she's like me though. When she gets any kind of sickness, it's like,
oh my,
you don't want to be around us.
It was just like so rough from the time. Like she woke up and she was cool. She was like ready to go. Like it was cool. And then it was like something happened. Like if she's not feeling well and one thing sets her off, there's no coming back from it. She's done. She can't get it back together, and the rest of the day is just fucked. And then she needs like a nap, and fingers crossed, she wakes up in a better mood, you know?
Like a reset.
Oh my God. But it was bad. It's like my mom asked her to come. She was like, do you want to come outside with me? Do you want to get no. Do you want me to change your diaper? That was it. Soul ran back inside. She was like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like nothing even happened, you know? Like, and ever since that moment, it has been very draining. And so I came into this podcast really like drained and exhausted and like tired and really feeling like a parent, like feeling the now? Parent mode.
Better?
I mean, I feel better as I'm talking about it right now, though. I'm just like, oh, like I feel the weight being like lifted a little bit more because I feel like I still had to just like talk about it. It really stressed me out. It was a lot of just nonstop, mama, 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 mama. And then everything, nothing was right. Do you want a banana? I want a banana. I give her the banana. I didn't peel it right. Now she's pissed, right? And then it's just like, okay, step on this step. Oh, I stepped on the step the wrong fucking way. And now it's like, you know, it's like anything that is like...
You got to stop giving her the options when she's doing that shit.
I wasn't giving her options. When
you're asking her, you want this? Yeah, you want this?
No.
After the second thing, be like,
we're just walking down the steps. We're just walking. My foot is just touching the step. And she's like, no! And I'm like, what did I... Like, the fuck did I do? Like, man. So it was just really... It's like she really beat me up this morning, so...
But yeah, last thing, like I talking to that couple yesterday. I mean, this is kind of along the same lines, but it's like, you know, I was asking them. I was like, so you know, your daughter is what, like 30 years old or whatever. Like, wasn't it amazing? Like, there's you could see in their eyes that they're still amazed that their daughter just got married.
It was cool.
You know?
It was nice.
And I was like, man, that's how I want to be. Like, being a parent, I mean, it's hard to not be amazed by every little thing because everything you have kind of given this kid or shown them how to do it.
Everything.
Or kind of molded that, you know? And really, it's a humongous responsibility because you're putting this person out into the world eventually, and that is a product of what you have done.
Huge responsibility.
You know, some of these kids unfortunately don't turn out good. But
it's not that they don't turn out good. Don't say that.
Right. Listen, I'm not trying to be like angry or disrespectful or anything.
No, you just don't know how.
Somebody,
Yeah,
But I'm just saying that the reality is, and I would take responsibility for it as well if this was to happen with our daughter. For the most part, if a kid goes out there and they're 21, 22, and they're just like disrespectful and wreaking havoc and like getting arrested and getting in trouble, that's because of you. That's because of your parenting. For the most part, and like minus like chemical imbalances and all disease or whatever mental illness type of things. Minus that, it's you.
So
as a parent.
So can I
might be very direct here, and I'm okay with that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. My kid could become a fuck up. I'm telling you right now.
Word it differently.
Could be me.
Just because for me it's more of a contribution than a cause. So for me, I believe that as parents or as caregivers, we contribute a lot. And the contributions that we give, we don't always see as being negative or unhealthy or whatever. So our kid is a sponge, right? They're sponges. So they're basically taking up all that stuff in. And then those are the contributions. Now we could have contributions in positive ways and we could have contributions in not so positive ways, right? So
I like the happy way you're putting it.
that's kind of how I like to put it versus like, you know, like, you did this. It's like, no, like, first of all, at this point in time, like I can sit here and be like, Mom, you did this to me. It's like, no, she didn't. All right. Like, I'm an adult right now. And now I have a choice to either fucking go this way or go this way.
Well,
you know,
that's
like,
true. Yes. Then later on in life, you have a choice. But I mean, you know, I don't know. As a parent, obviously every parent wants to be like proud of what they've done. And like, they see this person living their life by themselves, doing worldly things or whatever, and then you're like, holy shit, I did 80% of that or whatever. The other 20% is culture and whatever. Maybe it's a little less. I don't know what the ratio is, but I would definitely say up until they're like at least 15 or so, that's pretty much you. I mean, I guess maybe then they go to school, so it's still.
I mean, school's another big piece.
Yeah.
But I mean, the family, obviously, at home is like pretty.
Definitely the kid. I mean, at a younger age, definitely up until like freaking, 6 or 7. That's on you. You've done that. Nobody else. Because the kid's not like getting anything else from anywhere else.
Well, unless they're in daycare, unless they're, I mean, we just happen to have a kid that's not in daycare, like, and is probably not going to go to school until she's like 4. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
like,
I just blurred this out. This is how I feel. But listen, we could. Sometimes maybe I say these things because I want to have like debates and I want people to prove me wrong. And
you're not saying no. It's not that you're saying anything. I don't think you're saying things that aren't like correct or valid. I think you're saying valid shit. But I just you and I have just 2 different ways of
because obviously later on in life, right? They could be parents where their kid did some bad things or whatever. And then they would look back and be like, what did I do wrong or whatever? And I'm not saying I want those people to feel like that, but like, maybe I think if you haven't sorted out the majority, like some bulky things in your life before you have kids, the odds of them picking up those things that you haven't resolved yet are pretty high.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Hold on. But like,
am I being judgmental here? Is that what I'm?
No, but let's take my mom for an example, actually, because this is a good example. So, like, my mom, right, still has guilt, right? Lots of guilt, okay? Mm-hmm. And there's lots of times in our lives where she was like, it was her, like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And although I believe that it was her when I was like 15, 16, 17, right? Now I know it obviously really wasn't, like her. Like, it wasn't her. Like, she did not do this
purposefully
to me, like she
and none of this is purposeful either.
Okay. And now I have an understanding, obviously, that now, because I know how she was raised, it makes total sense to me now, right? So now I'm like, okay, well, she didn't even fucking know, poor thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had no fucking idea. So it's like she was just living life the way that she was raised, and in her, with all the trauma she went through, had no fucking idea. There was nothing that and she didn't realize or see that she was creating these cycles, now I understand that,
right.
Nothing was purposeful,
You're right. I think there is a certain age at which a parent and a child need to take their own responsibility for their own actions and whatever they're doing, right? This is important. I want you to listen to what I'm saying, and you're not gonna because she's reading things.
I can do 2 things at once.
No, you can't. Just read and then I'll continue on.
Right.
We'll read it out loud so everybody can hear, but nobody can hear because the mic is back here.
I'm blind, so. She said, this is Jess. I mean, it's impossible to be perfectly regulated, and obviously that impacts the co-regulation needs. Right?
I think that's back for what we were talking about before.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, let me go up more. Okay. I mean, it's all about regulation versus dysregulation, in my opinion, right? And certain approaches discuss the ratio for which co-regulation needs to occur to contribute to well-adjusted kids.
Yeah, certain ratio, yes.
Yep. Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I think
I like. Sorry to cut you off, but I actually
You
like
always cut
Jess.
me off.
So I like Jess's because her comments are like very professionally.
they are
stated.
very professionally.
They're very
stated, yeah.
professionally and clinically stated, which I
Yeah.
love because. In the beginning of this podcast, I try really hard to stress that I'm not here to really be much of a clinician, but just to be a person in my own life. And so thank you for actually coming in here and bringing in more of the professionalism piece to it. So thank you.
Yeah, so there probably comes a point, I would assume, that at an age where this kid or this adult at that point, I would say, I don't even know what the number is, but where everybody kind of has to take responsibility for their own actions at that point, right?
Right.
Like a parent, if the kid's like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number, say 25, right? And the parent just has to say, I did my best or whatever. And they can't like beat on themselves and be like, oh, I fucked up and blah, blah, blah. At that point, you just have to be like, I only knew so much and I only knew what I knew and this is what I did. I did my best. And then maybe that parent could go to therapy and finally start sorting their own things out. And then, or the child or adult at this point should recognize that my parents aren't perfect. I do things that maybe are against what they showed me, or maybe it is because of how they raised me, but is that the right way? And that person needs to decide that on their own. So there comes a point is basically where you have to separate and just be like,
what's the right way?
What do you mean? Oh, no, there isn't a right or wrong way. It's up to the individuals.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, stereotypically or what's the word? Perception-wise or whatever, right? Like if a parent feels as though their kid, their kid's in jail and does all these things, then they're obviously thinking, oh, I fucked up as a parent, right? But there comes a certain point where you can't say that anymore. You got to be like, that person is their own individual at this time.
Right.
I did my best, and now I'm going to go work on myself so that this doesn't happen any longer.
Right. Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing with the kid needs to do the exact same thing at some point too. Or they don't, or neither of them don't.
Or no one does.
And it's just, then,
whatever.
But this is why, like, people get into these depressive states or whatever, or never learn or whatever it is. But anyways, besides all that, it's all on you. You did it. Yeah, I don't know.
This guy. Joe wants to be a therapist so badly. So I'm always like, you would actually be the worst therapist.
But if I went to like years of schooling for it, I would figure out ways to like.
I always say I think you should be more of a life coach.
Yeah.
Than
a no nonsense life coach. Yeah.
No nonsense. Like, get your shit together.
Like, don't even talk to me if this isn't what you want to do. If you want to do this, all right, let's talk. But I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Like, maybe I make them sign like a waiver.
I mean, I say that to my parents. I don't say that exactly to people who I work with, but I mean, I've hurt lots of feelings, not purposely, obviously, but
right.
I think there's a way to say things, and you struggle with that. So for you, it's just like, poof.
Yeah, I think in life, I'm just finding my people at this point. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of the you said it like this. All right, well, then go talk to somebody else then, I guess. I don't know. I have just no tolerance.
No.
But if you're like a close friend of mine, I will take the time and have the conversation. If you still think like I'm like, whatever, then I don't know what to tell you. If you could tell me things that I can communicate to you better, I will adjust and try to make the conversation go smoother. This is mostly if like we're just very close, like a good friend or, you or family member or something. But if it's like some random, I don't.
You know what I want to know? I actually want to know, and probably even just asking this question and talking about it makes me self-absorbed. But I want to know if I, on these podcasts, speak about myself as much as you do, because
Honestly, this podcast is my therapy, I think. I think this podcast is my therapy.
Because, like, I totally fucking know that I could be self-absorbed, for sure. And so, like, I get that. And so I'm like, wait, but like, because I feel like I've worked on that as much as I could, but is it still coming out? And if it's still coming out, I want to know if on these podcasts I speak about myself as much as you do.
You do it in a way that doesn't make it sound as though you're speaking.
I need other people to tell me. Like, I need people to just...
Well, you got the therapist on board here.
Well, the fact that I even asked the question makes me feel like I am because I asked it, right? But like, I need people who've been listening to our episodes to tell me if that's the case, you guys, because it's like... We can't always, like, we can't see and hear what we do and what we say all the time, okay?
I don't think so.
Like,
I think you...
Do I?
I think... Maybe there might be a little layer of it, but like the way that you talk doesn't make like the way that I can talk. It sounds that way, and I get it. That's why people. But we're talking the same language, but we just say it differently. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck. You care more than I care. You're thinking in your brain. You've had years of training on how to do this, so it doesn't tip the wheel too far on one way or the other. And this is just off the top of your head. That's how you talk. And I haven't had that training. So I'm just like, but this is what I think right now. Oh, and then like 10 minutes later, I might be like, oh, maybe I was wrong on saying that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, ugh.
But that's why maybe the podcast is kind of like my therapy. It's like, I always have to like talk through my thoughts.
Yeah. You're a talker througher.
And that's kind of how this podcast came about, really. It's like we talk about things. We used to talk about things all the time, and I was realizing I'm like learning things. I'm like, oh, maybe somebody else could learn. But really, I'm just doing this podcast for myself so I can keep learning shit about myself.
Totally. So I think we should wrap up. But before we wrap up, I do actually want to highly suggest that if anyone out there likes Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan's podcast, he has an episode on there with what's his name? Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah, from CNN.
From CNN, right. And I was actually really like surprised to even hear that he was actually on Joe Rogan. So it's actually a really exciting episode and a really exciting show to listen to be honest.
Yeah, it was a good back and forth.
It was a good back and forth.
Yeah,
and
Joe Rogan had some good points.
Yeah.
Sanjay had some good points.
Yeah, I mean, it was great stuff. So get into it. I have to finish it myself. And also, if anyone, I don't know if anyone can like, you know what I should have done? I should have done, like, is there a way that I can like tag, can we tag Jorge?
Yeah, we can.
In our live and be like, Jorge.
He'd have to get to the end of the whole fucking thing.
Oh, man.
Which he's too busy not training. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's training, but it's like all I want to do is just meet Jorge. That's all I want to do. It's all I want to do. And I haven't. Or I just want him to notice my fucking messages I send him on fucking Instagram and just say, hey, Aaliyah. Then I'll be like,
yeah, we'll tag him. This will be the one where he'll be like, hey, Aaliyah, your husband's an asshole.
Like, I'll fuck your husband up.
Yeah.
Gamebred, serious guys, but this is the Gamebred shirt. If anyone doesn't know, Jorge Masvidal.
We could go over the UFC stuff like real quick.
No,
just real quick about like the lineup for November 6th and December 11th.
Oh my God! For those of you who are into UFC, who watch us, who listen to us, holy shit! November 6th, Colby Covington and Usman. That fight card is insane. It has Rose and Weili, right? Mm-hmm. Fighting. And then it
Justin
has
Gaethje and
Michael
fucking
Chandler fighting. Then it has... Is Dan Hooker on that card?
Dan Hooker's on that one, I think.
It's insane.
There's a few other ones, too.
Yeah, and then the fucking December 11th...
That one's even better. That's the best one.
Mind blown. So the main fight is...
Dustin Poirier
and Oliveira. And then you got fucking Masvidal, okay? Jorge versus Leon Edwards. I don't want to hear what you got to say, Joe.
Leon's working right now. Jorge could be out there promoting some sort of weed or some shit.
Guys, I don't know what it is with me in UFC. I mean, like, I feel like I almost had a panic attack when I watched Jorge fight last time when he got KO'd.
Listen, I could be totally. He could prove me totally wrong, but I mean, I think he's about the money right now, and good for him because he's fucking gonna, beaten like lots of fights to get to where he is.
He had a lot of fights,
and fuck it, get that money.
This
and
is
beat
what I'm
out.
saying. If Jorge ever comes across this, okay, what I would love for him to know is I respect you as a fighter, and I love you, and I think that you're amazing. However, there's got to be more. Something's got to come into this. A change has to occur, okay? Because we saw you lose the last 2 fights. Yes, you got some good moments. I get it. But you got KO'd by Usman. Let's just call it what it is, And that was like the first time you've really been KO'd because you're crazy. We get it. But you're going to have to come at this again, Edward shit, on a whole other level. I love you.
And maybe between now and then, post some of you
showing that you're training
hard, right? So people are like supporting you because they see you working hard and you're gonna do this. We believe in you.
He's always working.
Anyways, so there's that. Hold on, no, there's Poirier, Oliveira, Leon Edwards, Masvidal,
Nunez, Pena.
And that one continues on.
Yeah, no,
I can't even think.
Yeah, me neither. Sanhagen.
No, that's another one. That's earlier, I think. That might be the November 6th one, the Sanhagen.
I don't know.
And Peter Yan. Anyways, those 2 nights
Crazy fights, guys.
If you're gonna order pay-per-view,
Saturday night. That's
UFC.
If anyone knows about it. That's pay-per-view it. Those 2 nights, insane.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I had fun. Thank you again for listening and watching. What'd she say? Hold on, Jess. I really like this, Jess. Man, she said, man, I need to start a podcast, I think.
Yeah.
I'm an external processor too. Jess, do it. Okay? Do it. The only thing I will say.
Have you on here.
Right. The only thing I will say is if you're going to do it, because of what you do for a living, you're going to have to decide whether you want it to be strictly clinical and professional, or if you want it to be just like shits and giggles and fun. I had such a hard time starting this. I had to like talk to my colleagues and like people in the field of how I can do this and still, not like, and so I try and just be like just as authentic as possible, which is what I try and be every time with people I work with anyway. And this is it. And I try not to get into like really clinical stuff and use clinical terms or diagnose and anything like that, because that's not what I'm here to do. But that's the route I took, So that's my only suggestion. Pick a lane and stick to it.
Yeah. Because if we're trying to do like this casual, like fun thing, and then you like dive deep like that can go that's like the wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, it just gets icky, and there's certain things that, if I'm gonna be professional and clinical during the podcast, then that's what you're gonna hear me as for the rest of the fucking time. I'm not changing, like that's it. You'll still hear me curse, and you'll still get my personality, but it will still be a slightly different kind of vibe because, I mean, I'm just wearing that hat. Like I've been doing this for a long time, so I could take these hats off in certain moments.
I think I'm glad that you went this route because then people actually get to see who you are when she's done with like work, she like just checks out and it blows my mind. I don't know how, because I can guarantee she's probably on a daily basis talking about some heavy stuff, right? But she's figured out a way to do it, and then now like people get to see that on this show, and then if you want to have her as your therapist, you can do that as well. But that's a whole other ball game.
It's a whole other ball game
where you're actually really trying to like resolve things.
I'm licensed in Florida and Rhode Island for anyone who wants to know.
Yeah, and what's that website usually that people go to?
Oh, Psychology Today. You can find me on Psychology Today. That's where I'm at. I don't do a lot of marketing because I just don't need to. So that's what you got on lots of insurance panels.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, I think we did. This ended up being pretty good. We were kind of, as always, not sure.
I had no idea what we were going to talk about. I had no clue what we were going to get into.
But I think we got a lot in.
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
Yeah, for sure. Jess, definitely hope you keep listening and watching because I actually would. I feel like having maybe like another clinician on, if you would ever be willing, would be pretty cool because then you can take that path that maybe I'm not taking on purpose in this podcast and actually add a pretty cool dynamic. I have another friend out here who is in ABA, Applied Behavioral Analysis, and so I want to bring her on too because she's like crazy when it comes to like all like the behaviors and kid stuff and this and that and all this stuff that I actually do struggle with just with my own child. So so anyway, I think we're good.
Yep. Okay.
Bye guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Good energy and have an amazing Sunday.
Bye. Love you.